You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smartest Guys in Marketing podcast. Chris Evans, Taylor Welch. Taylor Welch, how are you?
Why every other podcast is a scam.
This is not
rated R.
All right, today we are talking about relentless focus. Give these people the goods.
We're talking about the superpower. We're talking about, if there's one thing I think that both of us can agree that we can hang our hat on, it's our insurance, it's our inoculation against whatever the market does, whatever happens. It's our predictability and our protection. It's our superpower.
Yeah. It's to make sure that the bills are paid. I'll just say something else that rhyme, but
yeah, don't.
Not rated R.
It's our relentless focus. There's a very wise business leader who I won't name because it would cause a scandal.
Uh-oh.
And he says that the number one insurance against failure is simple. Just don't give up. How profound is that? And before you turn this podcast on, you're like, I don't need this. Well, first of all, check your bank account, because if you have enough and you don't want any more, then turn it off. If you want more, then stick around. Let us show you what we're talking about. But first, we got to tell people what you told them that we would tell them.
Yeah, so we're having our team meeting this morning. We have a daily stand-up. And Taylor holds up this check because we're talking about the money we're spending on Facebook ads.
I can show it to people right now because we're broadcasting this on Facebook Live as well. And
that's great. So now they have the account number.
Sorry.
So Taylor says, hey guys, don't worry. Like, I got us covered. If we need this, I just got this in the mail. And he holds up a check for $25 from his Grammy.
Don't worry about the bills.
Don't worry. I got it covered.
I'll say, dude, Big Papa will take care of you.
And it had me rolling because it made me just think and just reminisce for a second when my grandparents were still alive. When they would send me money.
Gosh, dude.
When they would send me money.
Sorry, bro. Let's move on.
You're a grown-ass man, and your Grammy's still sending you $25.
Dude, it's because she loves me.
I love that.
She loves me.
It's so cute.
She loves me. There was a time when I needed the money, but now it's just the thought that counts. Buy a couple Starbucks with it, you know?
Yeah, the Starbucks you're going to buy me. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and jump in here.
Cool. Well, this is going to be a vulnerable episode, just so people know.
Yeah.
People sometimes look at us, and I feel like they think to themselves, well, it must be nice. If I was doing that kind of money, if people respected us like they do Taylor and Chris, if I had the influence that they had, then it would be easier. But there are times every single week when, I don't know about you, but I wake up and I have to decide that I want to keep pushing forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a struggle. It's always going to be a challenge. And I think if there's one thing that I can look back on is being a big part of our success is that we constantly re-up. We constantly recommit. We have this relentlessness about us that when things get harder, we're going to push harder.
Yep.
And that was validated this week by a client that we spoke to yesterday, the day before the last time we recorded. And she just hit 7 figures in her business. And I know the money's awesome. Like me and Chris, we love running a multi-million organization, and we love growing and leading people. But one of the biggest payoffs for us is when we can take a client from not knowing what to do to grow their business and being stressed out and frustrated and struggling. We started working with her in June of last year. And what's that? 7.5 months down the road, she's hit 7 figures. And just wanted to break down kind of what she said and what a key learning lesson was for her, and then tie that back into kind of how we keep our focus, how we stay relentless. Because you and I both have processes that are a little different for each of us to keep us in the game, you know?
Yeah, and having this, it really is that first thing is deciding that nothing is going to defeat you. Right? You might win the battle or lose the battle, but you're not going to lose the war. And so you have to have the right expectations to realize that you're going to get beat up. You're going to get thrown around. But just knowing and deciding that no matter what, you're going to get up and you're going to fix whatever the issue is and move on and hit your numbers. Like not hitting your numbers, not signing however many clients or hitting your revenue goals or whatever it is you have established as your goals, not accomplishing that is not an option, right? It's you deciding that. And so for us, getting to 500 grand a month in revenue, that is non-negotiable.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable and it's non-negotiable for us. And so that lends to something that's really, really huge, and that's confidence. So when you have this relentless focus on the parts, just parlaying from last episode, if you haven't listened to that, go back and listen to it. It's called What to Do on All Your Breaks. But if you don't have that deciding factor and mentality that no matter what, you're gonna press forward, you're gonna make it happen, then you will fail and you'll get thrown off track, and you'll come around a year or two or three or four or five and wonder like what happened to your business, maybe even your life.
Yeah. And if failure is an option for you, then it's going to be probably the reality for you. And I don't mean failure. We don't mean failure as in like test stuff and see what works. And we're not saying don't do that. Like we fail all the time. We fail all the time. Like we lost a product last year and it did good and then it bombs. Yep. We try new traffic sources and then they don't work. We pre-sell stuff and then people we can't get them to pay. All sorts of stuff. Like we're not exempt from the struggles of building a business. That's not what we're talking about. That failure is normal. You got to go through that. But we're talking about if not achieving the peak of your potential is an option for you, then you won't ever achieve it.
Yeah.
And for Chris and I, we have to achieve our full potential. There's too much at stake. People need us. People need what we're doing. And we owe it to the world to get there. So real quick, let me give people 2 resources that have been helpful for me. And then I want us both to talk about momentum because that's a big part of this.
Let's do it.
You down with that?
Yep.
So 2 resources for me. You guys need to pick up one, the book from Tim Grover. It's called Relentless. Buy it on Kindle or buy the hard copy, whatever you got to do. But buy this book because it talks about people who are relentless, how they behave, the things that they think, and it'll kind of prime you. Chris, you've read this book.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes me want to run trees over with my Tesla. I could do anything.
Which would be very bad.
I don't care what.
Crush like a tin can.
No, it would definitely not. So Tim Grover, Relentless. And then the book Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I have that on my bookshelf right there. And when I'm feeling down, I'll read it because it's just good. This dude he had way more pressure than we do. And he managed to survive. So it's good. Anything from you that you think people should pay attention to?
Yeah, I think just surrounding yourself who play at a way higher level. And that could be books like, Elon Musk is a great example. And just reading about their stories and the stuff that they have to deal with. And then you just realize you get a really good perspective on your business and your life. You realize that the things you're going through are not a big deal at all. And so when you have that in your mind, that the stuff that you're facing is not that big of a deal, it really helps you make that decision that you can overcome that barrier in your business. It's oh my God, you think your world is crumbling when your landing page is only converting 2%. Which if you listen to the last podcast, we talk about.
Yeah.
Right. As opposed to Elon Musk, who is launching rockets into space. And if something goes wrong there, people could, die. Right. So you have that contrast, and it really, really helps you to be better positioned to realize that your life is not that bad. Your business is not that bad. And it's just amazing, people, how weak-minded they are. And when they are getting a 2% conversion rate on their landing page, or, their Facebook ads not converting, they spend $500, oh my God, what am I going to do? My life is over. It's that's a weakness that you have to fix. Right.
Right.
Right. This is part of the process to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of, so I study Tesla and I study Elon Musk just because I like what he's doing. So last quarter, Tesla did $2.2 billion in sales. It's a lot. They lost $121 million in net revenue. How about those profit margins? So here Tesla is. They're $11 or $12 billion, or no, they're like a $35 billion company. Elon's net worth, I think, is 11 or 12 billion. So they're a $35 billion company, and they're losing money, and they're having to go out and raise more money from stakeholders and investors just to launch their products. And you think about that, like in our market, we freak out. Like we literally lose it if we do less than 7x return profit margin on our ads. Like that means if we spend 50 grand on ads and we don't do like 350 grand in sales, we're pissed. Stop buying coffee, sell the cars.
Oh my God.
We're losing it. And then you think of guys who are out there like really setting the trends in the world.
Yeah.
They believe in their mission so much that they're not willing to be deterred from it. Doesn't matter if they lose money. Like it doesn't matter if they have to front it themselves. And it's the power of a mission rather than just being in this to make a quick buck.
That's an amazing point.
You just muted yourself. I didn't hear you.
I said, yes. It's an amazing point.
Yeah.
Mission. Like if what you're doing is not big and it can really affect a lot of people in a positive way, then there's nothing big for you to strive for. Right. So let's just kind of recap of some of these things that we're talking about. Deciding, you have to make the decision that no matter what, you're going to hit the goal. You're going to accomplish. You're going to cross the finish line. You have to have confidence in yourself. How do you do that? You surround yourself with people who are legit. You read books. You become a client of ours, and we're going to jack you around. We're going to pump you with confidence. Because when you surround yourself with people like that, and no matter what, I'm going to hit 50 grand in revenue this month. Like that, it's just going to happen. Right? I'm going to put the right things in place and get there. And when you have this, it builds this next thing for us, which is what? Momentum. Bro, I was setting you up there. I was like,
following you.
The alley-oop, and I was hoping you were going to dunk it.
If you guys could see Chris on the video right now, he's just spinning his hands around in circles. I'm
when you think that means momentum?
I'm supposed to know that means momentum.
Bro, you should know that.
Yeah, momentum. It's good.
Yeah. So what are the things about momentum that these guys need to know?
Momentum is two parts. It's part created. It's part managed. The biggest risk you have in business is one, not knowing how to create it. All right. That's what we do. That's why we have clients coming in doing 7 figures. That's why they're going from 2 or 3K a month to 80, 100, 120 grand a month, is because they finally figure out how to create momentum. It's like a lever.
Yep.
You pull the right things, you get the right results. That's the number one risk. And then the number 2 risk that we see almost just as often, believe it or not, is not knowing how to maintain or manage that momentum. Yep. So momentum, once you create it, is an asset.
Yep.
It's not a resource that you just deplete and then it'll recharge overnight. It's an asset that you have to manage and maintain. So we get people coming in who they'll do 80 grand in a month, and it's like they're on the brink of 7 figures, and then they go start a new business. We're like, dude, don't do that. And then they lose their momentum, and then they're down to 20K a month, and they can't figure out how to get back. So We've done this a lot of times where Chris and I will get a break, and then we're tired, or we just get distracted with whatever, and then we lose momentum. And it is triple the cost to create momentum than it is to just manage it once you already have it.
Yeah.
One of the biggest costs in business.
It's really a great example when you go back and you look at someone they just come out of the gate firing on all cylinders, and they go from $5 grand a month to 25 a month. And then they start, again, going back to the last episode, trying to fix things that aren't major leverage points. You have to get to a place in your business where the momentum, you get to, let's say, just 25 grand a month in your client business, and that just happens like clockwork. To where, if you don't hit 25 grand in a month, the world has ended, right? And then once you get to that level, you can start going back and maybe updating things in your business to get to 50 grand, 75 grand, 100 grand a month in revenue.
Yeah, absolutely.
So creation and management of your momentum, super important. The last thing, just wanted to a retouch on this is mission. Making sure that you guys have that mission for your business, that you're a healer. You're fixing people's problems. You're resolving issues that they have in their life and business. And you're really making the world a better place and giving a lot of value to the world. Super, super important. And keeping that front and center, which is something that we don't always do, that I think is important. Especially when you get to the place where you're starting to scale and you're bringing on team. It's really important for everybody to have that mission be centric to your model.
Love it. What are we talking about next time?
We are going to talk about top 3 methods for getting ideas to pull in your market.
Content. How to come up with things to talk about, things to write about. And we never run out of content, but we used to. We used to hit writer's block all the time.
Yeah.
And we've developed and pioneered systems for how to kind of hack into your market, know what to say, when to say it, and how to build a model around your expertise. Dude, we should trademark what I just said. A model around your expertise.
I'm pretty sure someone's already said that.
I'm pretty sure that I am on fire right now. Honestly. It's true.
Our content system, getting ideas.
Anything else for today?
No.
You all right?
Yeah.
Cool. We have a gift for you guys. Trafficandfunnels.com/gift. That was Chris's job to say that, but I'll step in since he's...
I mean, it was my idea to do that. So I guess I'll just do everything.
Trafficandfunnels.com/gift. GIFT, not GYFT.
Just in case you were wondering.
And we've got a bundle, like a consultative...
money bundle.
Money bundle. So we've got scripts in there. We've got recorded videos and whiteboards and things that Chris and I spent a lot of time putting together for you to help you grow your business, get more clients, use paid marketing, all of the above. And we hope you will go check it out and leave us a rating or a review so that Mr. iTunes knows that we're the best freaking podcast on the planet.
On the planet.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.